This is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? What is up, Cowboys Nation? It is Mike Tag. It's a Sunday, early Sunday. Most of you guys are probably sleeping, but I figured I'd drop a video. Been on vacation, been relaxing. Now it's time to get into that mode again. We got football season here. The last month, really, without any games. I know, yeah, August is preseason, but at least it's some football. But I am definitely looking forward to talking a lot of Cowboys these next few months. Good morning. See, I got someone up with me. You know, it's early. My man Vince is up. You know, some of us, maybe they call us older guys. We still get up a little bit early. We don't stay out all night partying and drinking too much. But anyway, had a great vacation. Wanted to just jump in, work a little rust off because I've been off for a week. Drop a video, easy video today. And then, of course, we're back in the groove on Monday. My man Jimmy D's in Germany, so I'm going to might be running solo, might have a guest on. We'll see what happens. And then Thursday, obviously, Kelly K9 and I will be back live, kicking this thing off and getting things rolling. So just really good morning, Troy, man. Hope everything's good. Couple things. If you guys are just checking out the video, watching a replay or whatever, and you ain't subscribed yet, what the hell's wrong with you, man? You need to hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that like, share the video with Cowboys Nation. Let them know your boy Mike is here, man. I'm alive and doing well. And of course, we got K9 and Jimmy D. We're having a great time. We're actually going to be doing a fantasy football show. Not me, but I've got some good people that want to partake in a fantasy football show. So we're going to be kicking that off soon as well. So we got a lot of things going on with this channel. We got some interviews that are going to be coming up. Again, I told you we should have another Cowboy in to do a Cowboys preview. Maybe get Campo back on to do a Dallas Cowboy preview, and then of course we got to talk some Canes football. So we'll get a Cane on as well. So we're gonna be having some fun. So again, man, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe. And of course, more importantly, is opening day at AT&T, opening home day, I should say. Of course, we're on the road Sunday night with the Giants. We're gonna have a tailgate party for the Cave. We got a lot of things going on, still working out all the details, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So you guys are all welcome. I've been getting a lot of messages. Hey, how do I attend? Do I need to take it? No, man, we're just setting up shop and we're gonna be kicking it. We got a bunch of Cowboys Nation people gonna be stopping by, hanging out with us. We got my man Fred Cuts by Jones is gonna be working the grill a little bit. We'll have some drinks and stuff. But I would say if you're coming to hang out, let us know as we get closer. We'll get a head count. We'll go ahead and, we got to get food and stuff like that. So we'll let you know how you can help contribute and donate to make sure we get some good food and drink for everybody. So there we go. We got some people up. My man Steven's up. We got Bud's up. You guys all doing good. So a couple things. I really didn't have a scheduled thing to talk about, but trolling on Twitter is something I do. I don't post a lot during the off season. I just kind of watch as things go. And it seems Dak Prescott is the constant man, just a lightning rod with either the haters or the lovers. And there doesn't seem to be much in between. And I just I don't know the infatuation with it. I think obviously, being a Cowboy quarterback, that carries a lot of pressure and a lot of notoriety, a lot of everything ESPN. That's all they talk about. They always talk about the Cowboys and it's Dak and this and that. But really, I mean, Dak's a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback? I can't put him as a great quarterback because I'm still one of them that championships matter. Championships matter. Look at Bud's up bright and early, man. We're loving that. But I need to get it. He needs to win a championship. And if he can when he gets that championship, now he's a capable quarterback. I think we all have to agree that He's got the skill set. He's got the leadership. He has everything needed to be a championship quarterback. He's just got to get it done in the playoffs. And that's how, great ones are measured. I got into, just kind of a back and forth about Troy Aikman. And, you've got a generation, and I don't want to sound like some old man, but you got the generation, that maybe hasn't seen championships. So maybe the younger people are kind of accustomed to the failures of the Cowboys. I'm not. I want to see championships. I've seen it. I felt it. I loved it. And I want to see some more. But Troy Aikman, sure, he didn't put up the gaudy stats that players have today, but he won championships. He won 11 playoff games. He was 11-4 in the playoffs. He, in the playoffs, he played his best games. Big players step up and make big plays in big games, right? That's what he did. You look at his career, you look at the throws he made. Like I say, he didn't throw for 5,000 yards, but not a lot of quarterbacks back then did. And the offense was just set up differently. Had he been playing today, he would be slinging it and putting up a ton of yards too. It's just different eras. So a lot of people look at the numbers at Dak, and it was really Romo was the lightning rod of it, and say, oh well, he's the greatest quarterback. And they're probably more athletic, but again, they didn't get hit like they did in the 80s and 90s. The defenses were different. The cornerbacks were able to play a little bit different. The NFL is all about offense. It's all about big numbers, and that's what that's what they go by. I'm going to try this little chat overlay thing and see if that works. I don't know if I got to figure that one out because I want to get your comments on here. So I got to figure out how to do that. I'm going to work on that today. But yeah, 3-0 in the Super Bowl. It's that says it all. And you don't win 3 Super Bowls if you're not a great quarterback. You don't go to the Hall of Fame unless you're not a great quarterback. So I don't like the comparisons. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, very good quarterback. I would say, you want to rank quarterbacks in the NFL today. I mean, it's really Mahomes. Burrow would be 2 for me. And then you can kind of mix and match whatever your flavor is, down the line. And that's just the way it is for me. I know Jalen Hurts, there's a lot of comparison because of the Eagles and Cowboys. You want to throw Jalen Hurts in there. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I mean, you can't hate on him. He got the team to a Super Bowl. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Does that mean he's better than Dak Prescott? I mean, I saw, Kelly talked about, Rex Grossman got to the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer got to the Super Bowl. You had guys that got to the Super Bowl that I wouldn't consider great quarterbacks. So, I'd even argue that he's, what was that? I'd even argue that he's in the top 5 regular season. Are we talking about Dak? No, I mean, if you're talking about Dak, I would say he's, 5 to 6, somewhere in there. Like I said, it depends on what your flavor is with Dak. But end of the day, he's our quarterback. We're tied to Dak. Dak's tied to us. We're going to love Dak. We're going to go as far as Dak can take us. Now, we got the defense. Defense is obviously, I think all of us feel very good about the defense. Got him some help on offense. So you got, obviously, Brandon Cooks. That's going to be I think that's going to be a huge pickup for the Cowboys in this offense. A lot of people forget, the Joneses and, they made the decision with Cooper. And I didn't, hey, I'm not gonna support the decisions they make. I thought they had a plan, and the plan was to get a drafted guy to replace him, and that just didn't work out. And yeah, Flacco won a Super Bowl too, and got paid, and never did nothing after that. But Brandon Cooks is going to help. The tight end group that they've got, very athletic, solid tight ends. The interesting, training camp battle for me, just getting into some of it, is wide receiver 4. I mean, is it going to be Jalen Tolbert? Is it going to be Simi? Is it going to be someone else in training camp that's going to come up and sneak that spot? Now, the thing I'll say about Tolbert, he's got the skill set. He's got all the intangibles to be, an impact player for the Cowboys. He just didn't translate it either in the study, picking up the playbook. Maybe the injury to Dak kind of hurt him a little bit, because then you had Cooper Rush in there, and it was just, maybe the synergy wasn't there and just get off to a bad start. I don't know. But he's looking good in the offseason. Everything that you've seen, everything he said, he's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. So I've got to have hope that he can come in and be the 4. And I think he's the odds-on favorite to be the 4. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, But I think if you get him at the 4 and he can play to what his potential is, that's a very dangerous receiving core, and I would argue probably one of the best in the NFL. So he's got to have the weapons on offense, and there's no doubt about it. Let's see what we got in this chat. I love Troy, but when the team was great, his record was great, and played when it wasn't, he had some very, very average seasons. Well, a lot of it is you're as good as the players around you. But I looked up Troy Aikman seasons, and I don't know. I don't know if he had average seasons. I mean, he's never put up huge numbers, and like 91. I mean, they were 11-5. He got hurt a little bit in the playoff, before the playoffs. Then the Super Bowl run. I mean, 96 was there, but you got to look at the talent that he ended up having. Go look at the receivers after Michael Irvin went down and this and that. I mean, there was just I was watching one of the old games they had on, man, and I forgot what was his name. Ogden was one of the receivers. And then you had, you had another guy, Patrick Jeffers was there. They just had a cast of receivers. But I mean, the thing with Aikman is his career was shorter. I mean, I think he played 10 years. The injuries, concussions ended up taking their toll on him. But like I said, man, when it come money time, he was money. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, and until I didn't see it from Romo, as much as I love Romo, and Romo, I think, single-handedly saved the franchise because we were in those 5-11 years, and it was just he was what we needed to get our franchise back to respectability, but he just didn't get it done when it counted, and for whatever reason, it was bad things happened to him at the worst possible time in the biggest games, and that's just. I mean, it's a fact that no one can deny, and I always think there's something to sports and there's something to players where the moment's not too big for them. And they get stronger in the moment rather than the pressure bringing them down. And I think that's one of the things you look at Troy Aikman as a leader of the Cowboys. The pressure was never too big for him. The pressure was never too big for him. The stage was never too big. And as much, like I said, as much as I love Romo, I just don't know if he had that. If he had that, be able to be the big guy in the big moment. It just didn't. It didn't seem like it was there. And I love him. Like I said, I mean, I'm looking at his picture on the wall, man. I got his jersey hanging up there. I'm a huge Tony Romo fan. That's why I always hate when I got to compare cowboy to cowboy. It's like it's crime within the family, and I don't like doing that because, like I said, he single-handedly put the franchise back to respectability, and I think injuries obviously hurt him. If he didn't have those back injuries and then he had the clavicle, all that kind of stuff, it was just there. And bad luck. I don't know if it's bad luck or it's just, like I said, bad things happen at the wrong time. And is it in the moment? I always will compare Romo. I say, if you ever want to look at Romo's career, just go watch the Bronco Cowboy game. And that's his career in a nutshell. It is unbelievable. 5 touchdowns, 500 yards. I mean, he played probably the best game I ever seen him play. But when it came down to it, in the biggest part of the game where they were backed into their, on their side of the field, he threw a pass that he probably shouldn't have, but Romo being Romo, the gunslinger, if you want to call it, thought he could fit it in there. I think he stepped on a lineman's foot, something like that, went back, threw the ball, and got intercepted, and they lost. And he played the best game ever, and he ended up losing. And that's Romo. I mean, and you just hate to say it, but that's his career. And Romo had a lot of weapons. I mean, T.O., we did our top 5 receivers, and T.O. was the one that was hard for me to, God, he was so impactful for the Cowboys during those 3 years, but I couldn't put him on that list. But yeah, it's a great game. It was a great game. Worst part of the game is my brother's family's all Broncos fans. So they were at the house, we're watching the game, and it was going back and forth. It was just such a great game. And to lose that way, and in our family, we have the kneel match. So if you lose, you got to kneel, in front of the other. And I had to kneel, and everyone got pictures of it. So it's haunted me for all these years. So that's why another reason that game always sticks in my head. I'll never forget it. But anyway, yeah. So that's it on Prescott. I didn't want to get deep into it, but I just see so much stuff about Prescott. And hey, me personally, I don't care. you guys, all the haters, say whatever you want about Prescott. I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. I know what he can deliver. I believe in him. And when he wins that Super Bowl, you can't take nothing away. And that's the beauty of sports, is when you reach that mountaintop and when you get that championship, no matter how many years back, go past, you can't take it away. It's just like the Eagles talk about 27 years. And hey, man, it's been 27 years. I can't believe it's been 27 years. I can't believe the Cowboys, it's been that long since they've won a Super Bowl. But it is. And winning a Super Bowl is not easy. I don't know how many teams have won a Super Bowl within those 27 years. I know the Patriots won a ton, in between there. So, and I think maybe no, Peyton won one with the Colts and one with the Broncos, but there's some teams that maybe Steelers won a couple. So it's going to be interesting, but they talk about the Cowboys, but they don't talk about the 49ers. 49ers haven't won one since 94 or 95. If you count the year it was played. I like to count the year it's played. That way I can always say it was 96, not 95, but it's hard, but a franchise this historic, it's really surprising the Cowboys and 49ers have not won a Super Bowl. Now, the 49ers have been a couple times, but it's like I said, it's great going, but I've never seen my team lose a Super Bowl. Obviously we've lost some, but I've never seen them lose one, and I don't know how I'd be able to take that. You know what I mean? If you're going, man, they better win. They better win. And I'm feeling good about this season. So talking about the receivers, we said, I think we all feel good about the receivers. I think the Cowboys made some good moves, obviously getting Brandon Cooks. So you go back to the defense. And what do you guys, it's odd. I was looking at defense and trying about, who could get cut and training camp battles and this and that. And the two positions for me were always my biggest concern with the Cowboys, but now it just maybe seems they're the deepest, or we just have a bunch of average guys and someone's got to go. So, give me your opinion on that, starting at cornerback. So you got Diggs and Gilmore. Obviously, the Gilmore signing, I'm telling you guys, that's going to pay a lot of dividends. And let's see. Let's just finish up this. Dak will win the Super Bowl. I think he will too. I got all the confidence not getting that ring. So yeah. So anyway, we just finish up on Dak a little bit. But talking about the cornerback position, this was always one of concern for me, and now you got Diggs, you got Gilmore, Bland, as a rookie came out and just played lights out. You had Jordan Lewis, who was solid in the slot coming off an injury. Eric Scott, I believe it's Eric Scott they drafted. He's getting a lot of praise in the off-season workouts, which obviously really don't mean a whole lot. They're not doing pads or anything like that. Kelvin Joseph, who they may move to safety, but now we're hearing great things about him. McCarthy saying this has been his best off season. And Wright, I mean, we don't, obviously he's been there. Someone's got to go. But it's going to be interesting to see how those cornerbacks, how they work those into the system, especially Bland and Lewis. Some people are saying Lewis might be the odd man out in this, especially if Scott's looking as good as he is, and if Kelvin Joseph, who has all the talent, he just, for whatever reason, he gets distracted in some other things. But it'll be interesting to see how that cornerback depth chart plays itself out. Who the two are, and then it's a matter of Bland. Wright's going to be on the bubble. See, I thought Joseph would be on the bubble. I don't know, and I still think he is. I think a couple things with Joseph he has going for him. Obviously, he's still on his rookie deal, which is attractive to the Cowboys if you're looking at a fifth corner or something like that. But his special teams, he made that big play in the playoffs, against the Niners, and you got Goodwin, who's been there a while. He's been kind of our special teams guy. Takes a cornerback slot. Do you put Joseph in that spot? Typically you like to have a special teams ace, and he's found a way on special teams to get on the field. Now, obviously, with your draft pick and where they got him, you sure the hell would like him to be a contribute on the field as a cornerback. But he might make the team just because of his special teams, skills. Now, how does that work with the fair catch on the kickoffs and the punt, and the punts and all that? How important is special teams? I still think it's pretty important. So, that's where he might get spotted. I think Wright's the odd guy out. I don't think he's going to make it. He had his opportunity and he didn't look too hot to me. So cornerback is the one, and then the other is defensive tackle, which I think all of us Cowboy fans have been clamoring for some beef up the middle, some nastiness up the middle. And now you got Hankins. Obviously, you got Mozzie they drafted, who looks like he just looks like a freak with strength and nastiness. So, and then you've got Oso, you got Goldston, you got my man Gallimore. Hopefully, he makes a team. We don't want him to get cut. Bohanna and maybe a couple others in there in the mix. So the defensive tackle is going to be really interesting to see who makes a cut. I know they're talking about Gallimore being on the bubble. Like I said, hopefully he finds a spot. But I think what I guess where I'm getting at on the defense, all signs that point's pretty good. That's making me feel good. If we've got some depth in the two areas where I had the most concern, in on that side of the ball, I think the Cowboys are getting set up pretty well. And like we talked about, it is the NFC. I mean, who do you have that scares you? Everyone talks about the Niners. I just their quarterback situation. I just don't know. I think the Eagles are going to be the one, but it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles get out the gate. Was it lightning in the bottle for Hurts, or was he the real deal? I mean, you look at his numbers; they weren't unbelievable. That's why I don't get caught in stats so much. He didn't put up these unbelievable stats, but his running, his ability to run, the ability on those fourth and ones, the quarterback sneaks were. I mean, God, that was phenomenal what they did. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Bohanna and Gallimore on the bubble. That's what it seems like, man. I sure hope I hope Gallimore makes it. I like him. And yeah, Mozzie, he's gonna be fun. I was hoping that he would have got 54 because I bought a Jalen Smith jersey and I should have known better because it was I think year after he signed his contract, maybe a year after they were having that end of year sale, and so I was like, well, shoot, man, 54. That's a jersey I could wear. And then all of a sudden, he shit the bed, for lack of a better word, and gone. And I made the mistake years ago when I had Antonio Bryant jerseys, and when he left, I tossed him, and I said, man. And then we get Des Bryant a couple years, a few years later. I'm like, man, I could have just saved all my money. I had my Bryant jerseys already. So I've been holding on to the Smith, and Mozzie was my option, but he ended up taking 58, so that kind of screwed that deal. So anyway. Let's see. What else we got going on in chat? Seattle is going to be, it's going to be interesting. It's all going to come down to Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a great year last year. There wasn't a lot of pressure on him. They've got some weapons. They've got a, strong running game. Obviously they got the receivers. I think Pete Carroll's a very underrated coach. You've seen what he did. You lose, you let Russell Wilson go and all that, always crazy, this and that team's going to stink and they end up going to the playoffs. That is a team that could be sneaky. And the other one I think is, a lot of people are hyping up, but I'm one of those that got to see it to believe it, is the Lions. And man, they're putting them on a big stage opening the season at Kansas City. You're going to see what that team's made of. Now, if they go in there, and they don't have to win, but if they go in there and play a tough game, tight game, we better watch out for these Lions. But if the stage is, you're going to see if the stage is too big for that team. If they go in and get the doors blown off them and get blown out, then you got to wonder, is that team ready for prime time? Because like I said, you can have all its talent on paper, and we've seen it with some other teams, and we've seen it with our team sometimes where it just doesn't work out. You can have all the talent, but they've got to be there. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I saw the training camp, man. They're charging. I think that's terrible. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand. You're gonna charge for practices if that's what you guys are talking about. I'm trying to follow the chat while I yap, but if that's legit and they're charging for practices and stuff like that, man, it's shameful. Shameful on the Cowboys. It's just another way to get some money, man. I just don't like it. And I honestly, I've never been to a Cowboys training camp. And years ago, I would say that would be one of the things I'd want to do. But I just don't know if they practice like much like they used to. I mean, they used to do two a days and it was hitting and it was this and that. And I don't know what I don't know what they do, if it's entertaining enough, if it's something that they want to do. Let's see. Are you talking about they switched everything? Monday through Friday, $10 a day. Weekends are $20 to park. Fence line passes, $60. But Ben, that's all for training camp. That's crap. So anyway, but NFL is all about money, man. And that's why you've seen some of the guests that we've had on, former players that they've paved the way for the NFL. The people before that didn't make this kind of scratch that a lot of these owners and a lot of these teams in the NFL and players, and all well deserved. I mean, I never down on anyone getting paid. It's just a little disappointing that some of those guys aren't appreciated and they're kind of forgotten. Like I said, there's things that you could do to help some of these other players. So, yeah, if people can afford Disney, then yeah. I mean, people are going to pay. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If they did training camp in Tampa, Florida, I'd probably go. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to fly to California. I'm not going to stay in a hotel room to go watch practice. That's just not. That's just like I said. I got a budget, and I'll use my budget for the games, and for the tailgate, for the fun, hanging out with the fans. But like I said, if they moved it back to somewhere in Dallas or even San Antonio or something like that, I might think about it, because I've got some ways to finagle some stays and things like that. But yeah, I'm not a big California guy. So for Bud, man, it might be worth checking out, man. You're only an hour and a half away, man. That's definitely that would be cool. But I've been to the Bucks training camp, but like I said, it was years ago when they were doing a lot more hitting. I don't know if they do a lot of hitting at training camp now, especially out there. I don't want to see guys doing a bunch of stretching and little cone drills and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm just happy training camp's getting started. I'm happy the season is getting started. And more importantly, I'm ready to hang out with Cowboys Nation. Like I said, we're going to have a tailgate party. We got Kelly K9. We got, Cuts by Jones going to be out there. We got Mark out there. We got so many people that are going to be out there. They've been reaching out. So if you guys are going to AT&T opening home opener, I should say. I got to keep saying the home opener. We will be there. The crew will be there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys obviously check that out. Then I'll be at. I ended up going to the Patriots game, the Giants game, the Lions game, and the Eagles. So I'll be out there a while, and also talking to the old guys. Hard not to be bitter when the new NIL money. So no, I know, especially college, man. It's these guys. They're getting paid, and the thing is I can't hate on it, man. Like some of those guys just eh, yeah, I feel bad for them, man. You've seen them on our show, man. It's hard for those guys. Oh, we're gonna be doing some videos of tailgate. That's gonna be happening. We gotta do some pregame hype videos with Cowboys Nation. That's gonna happen. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But just really, and then the kicker. That was the last thing I was going to touch on. Then I'll bounce out of here. It's my mom's birthday, so we got a little barbecue plan. So I gotta hit the store too. But Brandon Aubrey, don't know a lot about him. USFL. I think he went to Notre Dame. I think he's from the Dallas area, somewhere in there. Are you guys comfortable with getting a kicker? Without NFL experience. I mean, you have Crosby out there, you have Robbie Gould out there. Maybe they're just going to try these guys out, and they know, the veterans, what they can get out of them, and you're going to, try and go younger and see. I know it's worked out for some teams, going with an inexperienced kicker. I think the Bengals had that one kicker that missed a damn kick, the rookie from Florida. So, I appreciate it. It's, yeah, she don't like talk about age with her birthday, but yeah, she loves the happy birthdays. So I appreciate it. Let's see, Anthony Miller. Selling. Wow, yeah, Anthony. He was a good cowboy. He was the cowboy that I talk about at um, the game I went to with the Eagles, where we ended up beating them, where Bonio botched it. It wasn't really Bonio's fault; it was a punter botched it, and then we ended up winning the game. But Anthony Miller was good with the Chargers. He was good with the Broncos. Came to the Cowboys, and he had a decent season with the Cowboys. As that two receiver, three receiver, whatever he was at that time, I can't remember. It's been a while, but yeah, he was good. He was good, and some of those guys, man, they have to do signings. I think it's great. I think it's an opportunity for you guys, for fans to meet some of these players. And I know the Dallas Card Show does a lot of signings. They had Bob Lilly. They've got I think LVE was even. They had a couple current players, but I had talked to them about getting Eugene Lockhart involved in that, and I mean they're all for it. So hopefully you'll see Eugene's name out there. He would be a great guy for you guys to go see. I'm just telling you, he might be at the tailgate party. So if as we get closer, we're working out the details. But if we can swing it over there to get him to stop by, we'll definitely have some pictures like that for fans. So it'll be a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully we can we'll make that happen. And let me see before I bounce, man. I think no, okay, never mind. I thought I saw Jimmy in the background, but I guess he's not ready. So anyway, with the kicking situation, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but is he Dan Bailey still playing? I didn't even know that. Hopefully you're joking. I mean, but maybe he still is. But me personally, with a kicker, I want to get a kicker that is experienced. Like I said, I kicking is so important in the NFL. I mean, you think about these games that come down to kicker. You think about these games that come down to all these different situations, and you don't want to mess with that, man. If we lose a game on a bad kick, I mean, we saw that. And Maher had a good season, and that's why I don't know. I know he signed with someone else, but I didn't know if maybe they should have given up on him. I'm trying to get Martin Gramatica to come into the cave, talk about kicking. Won't be we're not gonna have him on for an hour, but one of the things I wanted to have really talk about is that play with Romo. And it was funny because he said to a buddy of mine that that's still the single most thing he's asked about his whole career. And he won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. He was a Pro Bowl kicker. He was had those solid years. And the one thing he's always asked about is that the muff hold and everything that happened. So I'm working on getting him on, maybe for 15 minutes or something like that. But it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun just to kind of get his point of view, because I always that play. There's so many things that go into that play, and I always talk about the play before. It's like, dude, the play before people don't talk about. Jason Witten had a first down. It should have been first and goal. Somehow the NFL replay changed the spot, which made it, where they had to kick the field goal. And then obviously they had the botched snap. And if you look, like Gramatica, I think maybe could have just threw his body. He wasn't going to block it. He was like 110 pounds. Maybe threw his body in to kind of distract the guy. But then Romo was so close. And I forgot the guy, Seattle, I think it was number 27 or something, just got him. And it's almost like if Romo could have stretched out, man, maybe he would have even gotten in. It was so close, was so heartbreaking. And you think about that play, and that's why I say defining moments is with Romo, man. What would have happened if he made it? What would have happened if we won that game? How would his playoff career taken off? Because that's got to be something that haunted him, and it's got to be something that's in the back of your mind. It's got to be something that's there. What's up, EJ, man? Look at it. You got some people up in the morning. So appreciate you hopping in. But yeah, so that's something that's kind of haunted. It had to haunt him his whole career. So I'd love to get Martine on there to kind of get his perspective. And he does a lot in Tampa. His son, man, time goes by fast. His son just signed with USF as a kicker. And I know Martine does a lot with travel soccer in the area. So hopefully we'll get him on in the cave. And then, of course, we're going to have some different things on there. So we'll see what happens. But it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. We always play two opponents in every game. The team were playing and the refs. Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to be one of those guys that blame the refs for everything. That was replay, which is part of the refs, and it came down from the booth. It wasn't a challenge because I don't know how the hell you could have challenged. You couldn't even see the football, so I don't even know what the hell was going on. And that was the other thing. Parcells, I still, man, I'll go to my grave saying that we were going to win a Super Bowl with Parcells. And I think that game, and unfortunately, the TO situation were the two things that drove him out of Dallas. I think the heartbreak of that game, I think kind of killed his spirit. And I think the issues with TO, and I don't think he was all in on TO. I think that kind of set the stage for him. So anyway, we're going to be bouncing soon, but I think, man, I don't know, my man, is Jimmy here?
Can you hear me? Is this microphone working?
You got your thing work. What's up, Jimmy?
Is the microphone working is the question.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to check in. I know it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
We're on vacation. And I know the week before I tried to get on remotely, which didn't work out so well. So anyway, just wanted to check in and say hi to Cowboys Nation, see what's going on.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
So are you home now? Are you
Yeah, we head out to Munich tomorrow, which I'm excited about because the Falcons signed a big international deal with Germany, and that's our official European country. So I'm going to go over and represent.
Yes. And no, that's good, man. You're going to have a great time. Let's see here. Let me just get this going. And we got Dez catch, Seattle kick. Yeah, that whole game, man, is just, we're talking about that play with Romo in the Seattle game.
Yeah.
And trying to get Martine on to talk about it. He was saying it's still the one thing he's asked the most about is that one play. All the other stuff he did. It wasn't his brother tearing his ACL on a celebration after a field goal. You think that might be the thing that people want to ask about more, but yeah. So I've been on vacation like you. I just get back. You're getting ready to get started, and it's like, man, I gotta get things going and work off a little bit of rust. So yeah, there's some love for Jimmy. We got Winston saying, "Hey,
Winston, rise up, baby." Troy, how's it going?
And
I missed everybody.
And also, I saw that you connected with our guy out in Germany.
Yes, I was telling him because we're going to Munich. We're doing a little roadside, a little roadie to down to Venice. So I'm like, I'm going to be having pretzels and Wiener Schnitzel and beer here, and pasta and gondola rides and vino down in Italy. So I was trying to see if there was a way on my route that I can connect. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but we're going to try to work it out.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I wish, like I said, man, if I would have known, I would have sent you a shirt for him because I know he asked once before. It's hard to send stuff to Germany. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I got to figure it out. He's a good guy. Always supports the channel, and it's a lot of fun. But like I said, it's my mama's birthday today, so we're having a little barbecue. We're having some fun. So I came in here to kick it with Cowboys, kind of work off the rust, make sure I got things figured out. I got to go solo with the show tomorrow. I did reach out to a former Kane to see if maybe he wants to jump in and fill your chair for a day. So hopefully I'll hear back from him. If not, I'm just going to roll solo. And that's what you guys, it's going to be a Cowboys week because Jimmy's not, it's going to be, that's all you guys know me. That's what I got to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Cowboys on Monday. And then obviously with Kelly, we'll be back at it. He's back from vacation. I'm back from vacation. So we'll be talking about Cowboys there. But hey, I got a question for you from Troy. What's up with the Yankees?
Boy, I tell you, it's amazing the inconsistency, right? So we're either we lost 15-1 on Thursday night, and we had 2 hits. It was ridiculous. We go from that to 6 runs yesterday with Stanton putting one of them off the electronic scoreboard out in left field. We're just a schizophrenic team right now. I don't understand what's going on. I've been calling for Boone's head for a month, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, we've had some people, so people in the chat when we talk Yankees that want Boone gone and agree with you. So it's going to be interesting. Yes. Steve was busting your chops. It's stumbling in fashionably late. I will say Jimmy was not scheduled. This was not a scheduled appearance. I actually thought you were already gone. I guess I misunderstood your text.
Tomorrow.
Be out there and you're flying to another spot or something like that. So, and I appreciate the happy birthdays to my mom. She's going to enjoy the day. She's got me manning the grill, so the food is going to be good. Not as
Gonna
good
be
as
good.
Jones, but I can barbecue with the best of them too.
No, you know what it is? We're going to be, and like I said, we tried remote a few weeks ago, but every time we try remote, something goes wrong. Technology screws us. Tomorrow, when it's showtime, I'm going to be 35,000 feet in the air. Lufthansa Airlines kicking back after a few cocktails. I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, no, and the trouble, like I've had, when I was in the cabin, and then you guys going to Blue Ridge, that area, beautiful area. I got a cabin
Yeah.
up there, and we drive up, and the kids, they love me and they hate me. They love me in the end, but they hate me in the beginning because I get up at 3 a.m. We're leaving. When we go home, we get up. I load the car that night. I'm leaving at 3:30, so everyone get your ass up at 3. Clean off. You got to strip the sheets. In the cabin. You got to put everything right for the housekeeping, and when they come do the cleaning and stuff. And I was out by 3. We're home by noon. They love me when we get home because we beat the traffic. You got the Atlanta traffic. So I got it all scheduled out. It's like if I leave by 3, I'm past Atlanta, and then McDonough is the other crazy spot there out just south of Atlanta where traffic. It's all the trucks kind of merge because all the highways. So we pass both of those. I mean, we're home in record time. I mean, that's what we got to do. So that's the way I roll my vacations. It's you gotta have smarts. You gotta have smarts. And there was something. Oh, talking about Britney Spears.
Ridiculous.
Now, what would you do? To me, it's a non-issue. One, I'm trying to think about what is she doing running up to him like that, like a little kid. And two, the guy didn't see her, and his security man. When you see someone grabbing the guy that you're protecting from the back, your first reaction is, "Hey, get the hell away!" And you don't know who it is.
Right. And then nowadays you can't trust anybody. So of course they're going to do that. I mean, the guy's an international star. He's going to be making a lot of money in the NBA. So for, her to do something stupid like that. And honestly, it's kind of hazy what even happened. It's like some National Enquirer crap. And I guess she took off for Europe yesterday or some nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. But yeah, Winston. So I get him up at 3 a.m. And what I tell my kids, now my kids are older now, right? They're teenagers. My son just graduated high school. My daughter's going to be a junior. So they're not 5. So what I tell them is stay up all night. Don't go to sleep. Sleep. If you sleep in the car, by the time you wake up, you'll be almost home. So that's the thing I tell them. And then my other rule is I don't stop. I stop for gas and I stop at a rest area. I don't get off the highway because you got to go to the bathroom. So you better go when we leave. You better go when we get gas. Or if there's a rest area that I can just veer off, make a pit. I'm like a NASCAR driver. I can do the pit stop. I'm not getting off the track. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting off the track because I am laser focused on driving. It's the way I go up. It's weird. When you go up, you're a little bit, I don't know if you do that. I'm a little bit more relaxed. Like I'm not, I'll stop here. You want to get a gift shop. You want to get some pecans. Pick a couple blueberries, whatever. We'll stop and make it along the way. But when I'm going home, I'm going home. It ain't stop.
Well, this is all the hype. When you're on your way, you're excited. You want to get, but when you're on your way home, you're thinking, okay, I got to do this for work. I got to do this at the house. And you're making the right move. I mean, you tell the kids, I ain't stopping. Because what happens when you stop? You're 15, 20 minutes. They want to go to McDonald's. Yeah, right. Then all of a sudden you're behind the schmuck in the left lane that you just passed 45 minutes ago.
Yes. And it's people don't think like when you get off, it's 30 minutes because you're going 80 miles an hour down the highway. Think of all that time. Now you stop and you're slow. How many miles do you lose? I mean, I know I'm probably insane, but that's the way I feel.
You're right.
And Troy was talking about Dallas. So the bad thing for me with Dallas is I got to fly. An example I'll give, when I went to the San Francisco game, I was so upset. It was the first playoff game I ever been to live. And high hopes that they were going to win that game. And they lose in just a bad fashion, right? It was just did not look good for most of the game until the end. If I could have walked home, I would have. If I could have got on a plane, I would have went straight to the airport. That was the worst night. I had to take an Uber back to the hotel and sit there and just stew watching TV, hoping, it was old school sports. I remember when we were kids, you'd watch Sports Center and you'd watch it over. It would replay it. And you keep thinking maybe the outcome was going to be different. And then it never was. It's still the same loss, the same heartbreak. And you get so pissed. Oh, I wish I could have got out of there.
Well, and you couldn't wait for Sports Center to end until NFL Films came on so we can just make fun of each other's moms and stuff. right?
Yeah. Oh,
You were looking for that heart. So I know it's Mom's birthday. I don't know how much longer you're gonna be on. I just want to jump in and say hi.
I'm gonna be jumping off, but say, Steve, appreciate it. Hey guys, we appreciate it. Like I said, Monday we got a show. I got a show planned. Jimmy's gonna be flying around, but maybe he'll drop in some pictures I can post of his enjoyable time, and hopefully maybe you see some Cowboys, some Falcon fans, some NFL fans. Maybe you could be the man on the street, do some interviews for the next week, and then we can get some feeling on how the people overseas, see that. So Troy. It was God, that was a pain in the ass. I hated that game, but no. So we're gonna have some fun. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe. We got a new social media platform with Instagram. I didn't even know about it. Someone told me. I don't even know what it's called, but I went on there.
Threads.
I'm not a fan of it. What is it called?
Threads.
I don't really like it. I don't know. Like I got to figure it out. There's no retweets. There's no hashtags. It's just kind of post stuff on there. So I don't know the whole Twitter, Instagram. It looks like Zuckerberg and Elon want to get in a squared circle and maybe settle it like men, like we used to do back in the day. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, so I guess we'll say it sounds legitimate. George St. Pierre, the UFC guy, said he's training Musk. So I don't know. That could be all for show. Could be posturing.
It's all posturing. But anyway, we'll get rolling because I know you got things you got to do. I was gonna bounce, so I'll be. I got to get the house cleaned up, get things ready. But hey, I appreciate you guys joining me in the morning. We're gonna get this thing rolling, and I appreciate it. And make sure you guys tune in on Monday. Be minus Jimmy, so it's not going to be the same. My heart's going to be a little broken, a little empty. I'll try and pick up the slack, and we'll have a good time, man. You guys take care. I appreciate you popping in. Make sure you check out, if you're new, check out our other interviews, player interviews, coaches interviews, some of our old shows, man. A lot of fun, and hit that subscribe. The Eagles getting ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it because we are the best thing going today. Now, can you dig?